everybody.
Welcome to the KnitChat Cafe. So I guess first off, we just want to make sure that everybody can see us and hear us. Always a good thing to check.
Always a good thing to check.
So in the meantime, my name is Noelle, and this is my friend
Kelly.
And we're coming to you from an absolutely gorgeous day today in southwestern Ontario. It was low humidity. It was probably, I don't know, it was perfect weather for sitting outside knitting. If you didn't have to work.
Again, wouldn't know. But
I cast on a new project this afternoon sitting outside.
I dream of casting on new projects every darn day.
I've done a lot of casting on. I really need to be finishing, but I've done a lot of casting on. But we'll get to that. Anyway, we're glad that you're all here joining us. Cricket, it looks like you were in here early and just got everybody all ready and welcomed everybody to the KnitChat Cafe. So hi to you. And Wendy, you were here early too. And we also had Janie and Bobette and Jackie and Cindy and Lizette and Janet. And let's see, we've got Holly and we've got Elaine. We've got Jackie, Kristen, Muriel, Gail, Nick, Lise, Annette, Judith, Jan, and we've got, let's see here, we've got Sharon and Teresa and Kathy and Judy and Barbara and, oh, we've got another Kelly. I always say that, don't we? We've got another Kelly. I've never seen another Noelle. Not so far. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for another Noelle to join the party.
Maybe you're just one of a kind.
Julia, I just saw your summer. Did we decide how you say that? Summer nos? Summer.
We're calling it the summer hug.
Summer hug. I saw your summer hug and it is beautiful.
Absolutely
gorgeous.
Beautiful. Yes.
So perfect pink color.
Yes.
It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
Pink if
I need to get working on mine and get it done. Anyways, welcome everybody. We're glad that you're all here joining us. If you're new, welcome.
Judy's here and she's new. I saw that. Welcome,
hi,
Judy.
Welcome to the KnitChat Cafe. You can fix your own drink. There's no one to get us our drinks for us.
No.
not even Ross. He's not here tonight.
No, Mike either. So we are a mostly knitting podcast, but we do some other things as well. I sew, Noelle weaves. We do crochet rarely.
I can crochet. I
can. And so yeah, we do lots of other crafty things too. And but mostly knitting. Knitting is kind of like the main focus for us. So you will see some other things from time to time on here as well. We also have a more formal regular podcast, which we are suspending for a little bit of time just because with summer, everything has gotten very, very, very busy. And we were having a hard time getting together for that. So we are going to keep going and bring all of the things that we would normally be doing in our regular podcasts. And we're going to bring those into the weekly lives for you. So the first thing that we wanted to talk about as far as what we would do in a regular podcast is we have some Makealongs running, and there is one of them that's coming to an end. Do you want to talk about that one?
Well, two of them.
Well,
once every month, but one that was running for a couple of months. That is our Spark Joy Makealong, and our Spark Joy Makealong started at the beginning of April or May.
May.
The beginning of May, and it goes till June 30th. So there's only a couple of days left, but that's lots of time to still get something in there.
Yes, because you don't have to finish anything. That's the best.
That's right. So the Spark Joy Mal is just to do something or make something that brings you joy. That's all you have to do. So you can enter, if you do have a finished object, you can put it in the finished object thread. If you're just working on it and it's bringing you joy, put it in the chatter thread, and we're actually going to draw prizes from both. So we will do that on our next weekly chat.
Which will be on Tuesday again next week.
That's right. So, and then we've got our other knit along going, so you can talk about that.
Okay. And that is our monthly sock along. And that's also in Ravelry. It's part of our group in Ravelry. And you just keep entering socks all year long. every month we draw 2 prizes, one for a pattern, which is donated from our friend Natalie of Remembrance's Pottery. And the second is a sock yarn prize. And when we draw, it goes all the way back to the beginning of the year. So just keep entering your socks as you finish them. Those do need to be finished. You need 2 finishes in there.
You do need 2 socks.
You do need 2 socks in there. Yes, you do. And we're going to do that monthly. So the more you enter, the more chances to win you have. And we do have a goal. We are hoping to get to 2,022 pairs. And I'm trying to knit tonight, and I completely forgot that I had anything at all to do. If you are on Instagram and you you could have stepped in, Noelle.
I could have, but I'm reading comments.
Just setting me up for failure.
I'm talking
I get
to
it.
people here, Kelly.
If you're on Instagram and you want to follow along on Instagram and see what everybody's working on, you can type in the hashtag KNP Spark Joy Mal and see what everybody has made in the Spark Joy Makealong. And then we do have one for our socks as well. And that code is KNP 2022 socks. We also have another hashtag on Instagram, and that is just the KNP KnitChat. And that is
KNP 2022 KnitChat, because it was one for 2021. Because I've been putting in everything into KNP 2022 KnitChat.
Okay, well, I've been putting everything into this one. So, okay, well, I guess there's a couple of them that you could.
Okay.
The only thing is then if the year is over, then it's over. Like nobody will ever be able to go back and look at that one. So,
well, it'll still be there under 2021.
It will, but it won't be active. It won't be, what do the young people call it? It won't be fire.
Okay, I never heard of that before, but
anyway,
whatever. We'll get it together. We'll go with the one, the
okay.
KNP.
Put some pictures in there, and then we can see what you're working on from week to week too. And we often look in there, and I especially like to look in there prior to the Tuesday Knit Chat, and then I can see what you're working on, and then we can, maybe have a chat about it, and then I know what the heck I'm talking about because my eyes have seen it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, there was a comment here too from Sharon, and we had been talking about Julia's pink summer hug, and Sharon's already also making one that's drying, and hers is pink too.
Excellent.
So what's better than a pink hug?
That's right. That's right. That's right. I wanted to, Zoe's saying hello.
Yeah.
Hi, Zoe and Jacqueline. Hi.
Oh, and Jacqueline. She knows it's always like that now, right?
And Gail has just flagged in here and said that there are currently, because I didn't check Ravelry tonight, but there are currently 1,362 pairs of socks on the go in there. So that's excellent.
My son-in-law's in here, and he said he wouldn't use whatever you said, fire. It's not. He said he would use the term lit. I don't know if that's old or.
I thought lit was old
he is
terminology.
Almost 40.
He is. I thought lit was kind of on the way out, but I could be wrong too, because I'm a little older than 40. So, Nick has a cute comment in here. She said her husband has been checking and looking at her planner and asking what all of the reminders were in the sidebar of her month. Those are all of the knit-alongs that she belongs to. And I think that's hilarious because you need to plan your knitting. Like I like to try to just squeeze it in and let it happen. But if you can plan it, if you can plan your knitting, that's even better, Okay. What do we want to talk about first tonight?
Okay, well, why don't we start with try and follow some order that makes it easier for you to put the timestamps in.
Oh, I forgot I was doing that. Yes. Okay. Can we? Okay. Clearly, I cannot knit and do anything at the same time
because we're kind of doing what we would normally do in a regular podcast. We're kind of fitting it into the knit chats. We are going to have show notes after them so that anything that we talk about, you can actually go and access. And the links to the Ravelry pages are there. Again, if you have trouble with Ravelry, just let us know through another format that you are comfortable with, either our email address, which is knitsandpiecespodcast@gmail.com.
Oh, was that a prompt for me to put that up there?
Sure. Knits and Pieces Podcast.
There we go.
Yeah. knitsandpiecespodcast@gmail.com, or It's sometimes you kind of miss the ones on, like, we try to keep up with the ones on YouTube, but it's a lot easier if you do it to the email address, because then it's
Yes.
easier to respond and make sure you get the answer. But if for any reason you've got a question and you can't access Ravelry or you can't find the answer, just let us know through that. And we're also trying, Kelly's going through and putting timestamps in so that it is, you know, if you want to go back and look for something specific, or if there's only certain things that you're like, especially if you're watching it after, then you can actually go directly to those parts of the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't we start with then what we're wearing?
Okay. And the time is 11:34. There we go. All right.
Okay.
I am wearing the Deshane sweater, and I have this on with, I don't know if I can stand up. Maybe I can. It never really works out, but I just have it on with like a one-piece romper, because it's a fairly cropped sweater, but it's a really wide sweater. So it's a boxy construction with narrower sleeves. This is knit in the Gadifra. There's going to be 2 words there that should go along. Gadifra.
I just looked it up. Was it Borneo or something like that?
Boreal by
something
Gadifra.
Like that.
Yes. And so it's a chain ply yarn, or chain construction yarn. I like it. It's cotton. So the sweater doesn't really feel very warm in the summer. So you can wear it all summer long. I was just looking at this though, because I'm also working on a sweater, the Summer Hug sweater in Drops Bell. And just before the show, I was thinking this would be a fantastic sweater to make in the Drops Bell, which is a cotton linen. And I say that lightly because it's only 14% construction, but I think it would work really well. And the sweater is.
Did you just read Regina's comments? I know. You just have to plan those things in advance, Regina.
You do. Don't wait till the last minute to decide you have to go to the washroom. You need to get there when you need to go. Yeah, I will admit that. Yeah.
Well, I do. And you know, the kids' rompers, I'll have the little snaps, right?
Yeah, but they're also wearing diapers. Those little kids are wearing diapers. Okay.
Well, I know that, but still, they get the snaps. We don't get snaps.
No, we don't get the snaps. This is all one thing. Okay, so I was thinking it would look good in Drop Spell, and Lauren has just confirmed that she just finished a Deshane in the Drop Spell. And did you like it, Lauren? Because I really think it would be like, I don't know. I've kind of got the bell on my mind.
Yeah,
that's what I'm working with, and I think it would be great.
I've seen and felt your top. I think you're right. I think the bell would be a great yarn for it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Lauren says she loves it.
So there you go.
Lauren says she loves it. Awesome.
And I don't think it would take that much yarn either, right? Because that's knit at a looser gauge.
Yes.
Right? What's wrong?
No, I just hear activity next door in the other half of the basement, and I guess I'm just hoping it's my husband, because I thought I was in the house alone. But anyway, sounded like something going in or out of the freezer, so I'm going to assume it's him. But anyway, okay, yeah. So I think it would work really well. So if you're looking to make the sweater and you're looking for some yarns, because I think it would be great. So Ainsley, after watching last week's episode, ordered 2 sweater quantities of Drop Spell. And then Susie has just finished the Yume in Drop Spell, and that's another good one. I think that would be great as well.
Yeah, it's a pretty versatile yarn, and I think like it would be nice for a summer weight cardigan too. But a lot of the tops, I think a lot of the summer tops, and there's a lot of t-shirts that are coming out this year that are like the 21 to 22 stitch gauge. Yes. And I think they're perfect for the bell. Now that one that you're wearing, I think is a looser stitch gauge, but because it's so drapey, I think that would work fine with the bell.
Yes. And it's an extremely generous sweater. I made a size medium, and I did get stitch gauge. I did not get row gauge with this particular yarn, so I had to do an extra repeat of the lace section to get a little bit more length. But that all being said, I made a size medium, and I can't even fit all of me into the screen. It's pretty big. And normally I would make a large, sometimes even an extra large in a sweater. So that's just an indication of how generous the pattern is. It is supposed to have some outrageous number, I think, like of
A positive
16
ease,
inches of positive ease, and that feels like it would be a lot for me. But yeah, so that's what I'm wearing, and I just wanted to say hello. There were a couple of people that just popped in that are brand new, and it moved too far up the screen for me to see, but welcome. Oh, Karen is here for the first time at a live. Welcome. And yeah, have fun. Don't be shy with that keyboard.
Now there's some questions about where we get the drops belt. Now, Nancy says that the US doesn't sell drops yarn. I believe both Kelly and I mostly order ours directly from Wool Warehouse in the UK. And they've got a really good, well, I don't know if they carry all of the drops yarns or not, but they've got a really good selection of them. And they do frequently have sales on different types of them. Like, it's usually not all of it on sale at once. They'll have certain things that are on sale.
Yes.
I have no idea what the shipping cost or duty is to the States. I know that anytime I've ordered to Canada, the shipping is really reasonable, and
about $7.
And
it gets here within 2 weeks. It's really quick.
And I've never had to pay duty.
No.
Now,
but that doesn't mean you won't. That doesn't mean you won't.
That's right. No, I know. I'm just saying we never have. But that's right. It doesn't mean that you won't. And I know that there are some shops in Canada that do sell some of the line, like maybe not the whole thing, but they do sell some of the line. Because I know that the one in Shelburne, Wool and Silk, she carries some of it. I do believe that some of the stores out in BC, like I think Wet Coast Wools.
Yes, Drops alpaca is one of the common yarns to carry the Drops line.
Yes.
And then of course the Kid Silk.
The Kid Silk, that's right.
Right.
So, and Lauren is saying that True North Yarns in Barrie carries Bell.
Okay.
So, yeah. So and there are, and someone else is talking about Etsy here. There are some shops on Etsy too that sell it too. So if you're from the States, just if you type it in and put it in an area, like if you put in Canada, it will come up with the stores in Canada that sell it. Or, if you're looking somewhere else, but we normally just order it directly from Wool Warehouse. And I don't think you order directly from Drops. No,
I don't think so. Okay. Like there is a Drops site, and then it just shows you, I believe, the retailers. But Bobette has just noted in here that Wool Warehouse expedited shipping is about $8 to the US. So incredibly reasonable. And you can get quite a bit of yarn for that rate. I forget what the weight is. I think it's up to like 2 kilograms. So that's a lot of yarn. Let me just say. But we generally get big bags, and I mean, these are only 25 grams, so I can fill a bag with lots of that.
Yes, and Rosemary has said that she has ordered from Wool Warehouse, and the shipping was reasonable and quick, and she got it in about 5 days. So
yeah, from the UK.
Yep. And Rosemary, I do believe that when you're looking for, if you're talking about the Holst, I do believe, now I could be wrong, but I think that the Woolly Thistle actually might carry some of the Holst yarns now too, and that's directly in the States. And Marg, as far as the cutoff amount, no, we don't know what the amount is, and sometimes I think it's just the luck of the draw and who you get that's processing your order through customs.
Yeah. So there's a few people in here that are listing off some other places to get it as well. So if you are looking for it, you can always go back in and have a look at the chat. And I'm just feeling a yawn come on, and I don't know why. I'm not tired. I'm so sorry. Okay. You have a sweater on. What is your sweater?
So this is my red ranunculus, and this is
it is very red.
I know, and I don't very often wear red, but I actually don't mind it.
Anyways, no, I really like it.
This is done in Cottonlicious. Cottonlicious. It's by Sweater Kits. It's 100% cotton, and I really like it. Like it's a bit of a thicker yarn, and it's kind of it's not a boucle, but it's kind of like a wavy yarn. It's like the cotton has got like a thread going around it that makes it kind of.
And how deep stash was that for you?
I don't want to say wriggly. This was actually gifted to me from Okay, Lisa, our friend Lisa, her mom was going through and getting rid of some stuff, and she gave me a lot of this because she thought it would be nice to make some of the kids' stuff with. Well, there was a lot of the red, not enough for a sweater for me, so I did it for me. But I did do like a little sweater, that macaroon sweater for Molly and a couple of the others, and it's so nice and soft, and it washes well. And yeah, like it's funny because when we were together with Julia on the weekend, Julia was going through some of her old stash, and it was actually Sweater Kits Cottonlicious. So I don't know what Julie is going to make with it. But anyways, This is Ranunculus by Midori Hirose.
Heroes, yes.
One of my, I think it's my 4th or 5th one. I'm not sure. But
I was thinking of making a short sleeve one for the summer.
This is awesome.
Despite the fact that I've already made 2 of them this year alone, but I think
it's so fast.
It is fast.
And I mean, the red for the summer, it looks really nice with like white pants or white shorts or a white skirt. Yeah. So, okay. Julia says, you betcha back when she didn't even knit, she got it. There you go.
Probably. Cindy says she wishes she were going to Denmark in the near future. She would not bring any clothes, and she would just wear her cousin's clothes so she could fill her suitcases with yarn.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Sharon bought some Coast and Titicaca last week after looking at my ranunculus, and you're going to love that. That's all I have to say. You're going to love that. Love it. So, and Bobette recently made a red Anchor summer shirt. That would look great in red too. That's one of those sweaters that look, I want a red sweater. I'm on the search for the right red. I feel like there's no red that really looks good on me. So.
And Teresa says that she wants to make a red ranunculus for Christmas.
That would be gorgeous.
I want to make, well, Rachel wants a red love note for Christmas. So.
Okay.
Anyway, but you're right. There's all different varying degrees of red, and everyone doesn't look good on everybody. So
I think I think for me, it has to be one of those blue reds, like the true blue red. Yeah. So, okay.
Okay.
So what do we want to move on to?
What we're wearing. Did you finish anything this past week?
I was going to say nope, but I did, but it's not knitting.
That's okay.
It's a little bit of sewing, and I don't even have it, but I do have a picture. So I was doing a little sewing again for Miles because you know what? You can sit down in an hour and make these little outfits. So cute. So I made him this right here, which is
so cute.
I know. I love the idea of black and white for a little baby. It's not something that you commonly see. So the little pants, they're called bummies, and the patterns I use are by Brindle and Twig, and this is their bummies pattern, which is actually a free pattern. This is free, and then the little crew neck tee is their pattern number 24, also by Brindle and Twig. And I just made the short sleeve one. So everything that I've made for Miles in the last couple of weeks has been boxed up, shipped out, and on the way directly to him. So that's all I finished this week, was just a bit of sewing. How about you?
Okay. Well, last week I had shown I was working on the little romper for Penelope. So I did finish that. So there's the romper, and it is the Jasmine romper. And just let me find the name of it here. The Jasmine romper. Okay, will it not go up if I have the picture up?
No, you can't put the name and the picture up at the same time.
Okay. Anyways, there's the picture. It's the Jasmine romper by Maria Atencia. So
I'll put the name up after.
Okay.
That's so cute. I love those little owl buttons.
Thanks.
Where are you finding those cute little buttons? Because you had rainbows on the last one.
Out at Country Yarns.
They're so cute. Adorable.
Oh, there it went up. Both are up.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, so it's the Jasmine Romper by Maria Atencia, and it's done in Rowan Summerlight DK, and that's the Coral Blush colorway. So, and then the little
Gorgeous.
booties are, let me just,
Mary Jane booties.
oh, there you go. And I did have a picture of those too.
Nope.
No, wrong one. And there's the little Mary Jane booties.
Those
and I took them over
cute.
and put them on her. They looked so cute. And they almost, she did eventually manage to kick one off, but they almost stay on a little better than socks because you've got that little strap across the ankle.
That's adorable.
So they've got little buttons on the side, but really you can actually put them on and off without undoing the button. So those were just, I had leftover yarn from the little romper. So I thought, I might as well make something that looks kind of summery with them. So I made the little booties, and hopefully next week I'm going to have a picture because she's 1 month tomorrow. So Suzanne was going to take her 1 month picture in it.
Adorable.
So, thanks. So, and they were honestly, making baby things just sparks so much joy. And I just love that color. Like, I just love that color. I might have to do something for me in that color.
Well, they're so cute and tiny, and they finish up quickly, and yeah, they're just adorable.
It was a really nice romper to knit. And the only sewing in it is just 2 side seams. So, because you've got the bottom, you knit the 2 pieces because you've got the buttons at the bottom. And then you knit the front piece and the back piece, and the straps are attached, like you knit them attached to the back. So then the only thing that you have to do is do like a mattress stitch up the side of it. And I think that actually I had thought about maybe joining it and doing it in the round, but because it was cotton, I do think that the side seam actually gives it a little bit of structure.
Mm-hmm.
So
mm-hmm. Very nice.
So that was, those were my only finishes for this week. I just wanted to cast on everything. But anyways, and that one picture, actually, I'll show you that right now. I haven't cast it on yet.
Well, Kelly said that you enabled her to make her first romper as well. And now she's going to make the booties. They're so cute. Yeah. They're so cute.
They are. And when you've got yarn left over like that, you might as well use it up, right? It's not enough to do anything for an adult. But in fact, that was only 2 50-gram skeins of the Summerlight DK.
Really? That's it?
Yes.
That's it?
That's it. And I still have enough left to make another pair of the little booties. But, she can only use 1 pair. She doesn't need 2 pairs.
Cricket says she could picture you in the booties.
I don't have quite enough to make some my size. Anyway, so the other thing that when I was at the Knitting Loft last weekend, this is the little
or the
dress
week before.
That I saw. Or the week before. They had this little dress made up, and this is called the Flower Dress. It's by Pernell Larson. And
That's
I really
adorable.
want to do this for Penelope too. Now, this one is done in Knitting for Olive silk, but I think I'm going to do it for her more for the fall and put like long sleeves on it.
I love that. I love it.
The yarn that I got, the yarn that I got to do it in.
I would wear that.
This. Yeah, it's cute. So it's going to be, the main color is going to be the darker pink, and then the flowers are just going to be the pale pink, and then the little stems are going to be in the gray.
That's gorgeous.
And this is Camera Rose. I showed it last week. This is the Yaku 416. So it's a fingering weight, 100% merino, but it's superwash, which is perfect for baby. So
Darlene says that they have a crazy thunderstorm with rain and hail going on there. Where are you, Darlene? Nowhere near us.
No,
we actually have
here.
We have good and great weather today. Linda says, Noelle, you have the fever. You've got baby fever.
I do. Fever. Only one of my, no. I've got 2 things that I'm going to show that are for me, but everything else is for kids.
Okay. Do you have some more finishes?
I have no more finishes. No.
Oh,
sorry.
Okay. So do we want to talk about, okay. Well, no, sidebar. This is not knitting related, but this is funny because we've gotten a couple of comments about the fact that we knit underneath the bridge, and there was one comment.
And feel like we're little trolls underneath the bridge waiting for that billy goat to go across.
That's right. Somebody said they always think of trolls under the bridge. And I think somebody else said that they picture us like being under this very industrial like bridge, and we're all around a barrel burning garbage and knitting around this barrel. none of those scenarios are true. We actually have an absolutely beautiful bridge to knit under. So I
thought the barrel and the fire sounded actually good. We could get
well,
marshmallows.
in the fall, that might be a good option. But I was under the bridge 2 times this past weekend. I was under there Friday night for a little impromptu date night with hubby. We went for a walk under there. It's very crowded at night. There's lots going on. But anyway, so I took a picture at night of the bridge. This is our bridge at night. And this river that it's spanning is the St. Clair River, which divides us, Canada, from the US. So we're a border town and really super close to the US. In fact, if you were standing on the other side, we could wave at you. And then the next morning, we were actually at the bridge knitting, a group of us. And so this is what the bridge looks like in the daytime. It's a very beautiful park setting. It's just really, really beautiful. And so then I just put the 2 pictures together. I had this on Instagram this week just to show how beautiful the park is. And in the daytime picture, you can actually see to the far right of the picture, you can see the Canada and the US flags flying side by side. So that's where when we say on Saturday mornings, we're underneath the bridge knitting, this is what we're under. And that water, there's something that's absolutely intoxicating about sitting by the river. We have huge freighters that go up and down. And this past weekend, there were a lot of sailboats in the water.
Yeah. So how did you get that picture, the top picture? Did you take that Saturday? Because there's like no boats, and there were boats all over the place.
I know, that's really strange. I must have taken it at the exact moment that nobody was there, because you're right. There were so many boats. I took that as soon as we got there. So maybe that was kind of before the big traffic hit. But anyway, I just wanted to share that because, yeah, I just thought that was funny, those comments. And then somebody, I got a message too on Instagram this week, and somebody said, "Oh, you were under the bridge. Did you see there was a group of knitters?" And I'm thinking that was us. I don't know. Maybe she just didn't recognize us. But anyway,
and when you look at it, there's really actually 2 bridges.
Yes. Yes.
They're side by side, like, but they are separate. They were built at separate times. Like I mean, we were here for the building of the second one, but I don't think we were born for the building of the first one.
Well, I don't know. I wasn't born here.
At least I didn't live here. Yeah, I didn't live here then. But so the way it works, as long as one's doesn't have construction on it, that one of the bridges goes across to the States, and the other bridge comes from the States back to Canada. So, and it is actually really cool, because it has been there. Well, the one bridge has been there for quite a while, and I don't run anymore, but I used to be a fairly avid runner. And there actually used to be a race that you raced. You actually got bussed over to Port Huron and started over there, and then you actually did a race where you ran back across the bridge and back to the other side. And I hate bridges, so that gave me I don't hate the look of them. I just don't like being on them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it gave me the incentive to run faster to get over that bridge, because there are parts in the bridge, because it has to have a certain amount of mobility, where you see I don't know what they're called, but how it joins, that there's actually spaces in it that you can look through and see the water. Well,
there has to be a little bit of expansion, right? A little bit. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really actually kind of cool to run across it.
Yes. Marianne just said, imagine knitting there at night, and we could all sit around in a circle with our neck lights.
With our little night lights on. Yeah,
with our night lights on. Actually, Friday night, there was, I don't know who organized it, but they had set up, it was like a blow up movie screen, and they had a family movie night going on over there. And it was really, really nice to be under there. And it was a perfect night to be out walking under the bridge. So I live further down on the river in Courtright, so we're often out at night walking and looking at the same river, but completely different vantage point. So in the warmer, there's another yawn. Oh my gosh, it's because I'm consciously trying not to. Anyway, so sorry. Anyway, in the summertime, if it's a nice day on Saturdays, you can generally find some or many of us underneath the bridge knitting. We usually start around 10 o'clock and hang out there till noon or 12:30. So if anybody is ever in the Sarnia area or wants to come and hang out and knit, everybody is welcome. Okay.
Okay, Sharon
A
had
couple
a
of
question
questions.
here.
Yes.
Yes, she had a question here about her. Okay, she's asking a question about her knit. She's a novice. She's on the rib of the sleeve of the swag, but she wants it 3/4 sleeve. Should I do the increased row or just go into the rib? Okay, I'm not exactly understanding exactly where you are. If you want to do 3/4 sleeves, once you get to where you want the sleeve to go, you would probably want.
I think what she's saying is because she's done the decreases down to the arm, and should she end there and jump right into the rib, or should she do any more shaping?
I would try it on, and if it's where you want and it's comfortable around there, I would not do anything else, and I would do your rib there.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want it to be a little bit longer, I probably would go a little bit longer, but I probably wouldn't decrease any further.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope that answers it. And
okay,
superwash yarn, it will relax when you block it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, for sure.
Absolutely.
So there you go. Julia told us the first bridge was in 1936. So that was before me. Barely.
Victoria is asking if we ever yarn shop in Port Huron. She sees that Mary Maxim is there. Mary Maxim is no longer there. It closed. Didn't it close a few years ago? Or am I wrong? I thought it did.
No, it did. The only Mary Maxim now is the one in Paris. In not Paris, France, in Paris, Ontario.
Okay.
So
yeah, so she was talking about the decrease row. So I think you answered the question correctly. Okay.
Okay. So what are you working on?
What am I working on? Recording timestamps. That's what. What am I working on? Well,
we have to get better at this multitasking.
Gosh. Okay, well, we're both working on our summer hugs. We want to show those. We can talk about them. And so this is a sweater that I'm using Drops Bell for. So I'm down past the sleeves. I had my first try on Sunday when I got home. I love it.
I know.
I love it. I love it. It's so much fun. So I think I'm on how far are you? I'm on the eyelet on the body. You're one below me, aren't you?
Yeah, I finished. I did the eyelet. I finished the 3x1 rib, and I'm on the broken rib.
Okay, so you're a section and a half ahead of me. But okay, and I also have a confession. And I already told Noelle this. When I tried this on, I am not going to block this sweater. Just look at it already. I don't think I want it any more open than it already is. I think it's perfect. It is hanging like a dream. And this is the Drops Bell. So I think by the time I'm done, this sweater will have cost me less than $15 to make. And I absolutely love it. So
that's what I did. That's what I did my Ilya in. And I have worn it and I have not blocked it. And it does. It falls nice. The stitches are even. It didn't need it, so I didn't block it.
Oh, and Julia says she didn't block hers either.
Block hers.
I think there's just something about, is it the cotton yarn or the style of a pattern? So it was sort of styled after the winter Gansey knits, where you're doing small sections of different stitches. And we had a couple of comments throughout the week of other people, because there's a lot of people making this sweater right now, a lot. And there were, oh, and Isabel's in here, and you can talk about that in a second.
Inspired mine.
Yes. So there are a lot of people making this sweater right now. And some people are asking if it's hard because they're intimidated because it looks like such a pattern. If you can knit and purl, you can make this sweater. These are very easy. Like the first section is just knitting. This is a ribbing pattern. The trickiest section is the lace, and it is literally knit two together, yarn over, and then some knits in between. So everything on here is incredibly beginner friendly. So if you are thinking about making a sweater and you're nervous, this would be a fantastic summer knit to make for anybody. It's amazing. I'm going to put the banner up. You talk about yours.
Okay. And if it's your first sweater and you are a little nervous about it, like the stitch patterns that are in it are relatively simple. But if you're nervous, put a lifeline after each section. That way, if you do make a mistake, you can just go back to the beginning of that section and start it over again. So like maybe every time you finish your purl rounds, just put a lifeline in. And if you don't know what a lifeline is, you're basically just going to thread a length of yarn, or sometimes dental floss. Some people use dental floss. You're going to thread it through the stitches on the needle so that if you had to rip back, you can take it off your needles, rip back, and that yarn or that dental floss that you put in is holding all of your stitches. So you can just pop them back on your needle and go back and finish. But that way you don't have to worry about trying to pick back. You've got a little bit of, it might give you a little bit of confidence knowing that that line's there to go on and try the next section. But if you're nervous about it, I would suggest doing that. So now mine is a little bit different than Kelly's in the fact that all of the purl ridges in it, I did in a contrasting color. So this was inspired by Isabel, who's watching us. She had an absolutely gorgeous one that I saw on Ravelry, and she used a contrasting yarn that kind of had a little bit of sheen to it. And I just really liked the idea of it. So I've got hand spun, and some of my hand spuns, you know, I've only spun up a single braid. So I only have like 100 grams. So it was perfect. This is the hand spun here that I'm using. And it does have, it's a BFL, but I think it's got 30% silk in it. So it does have a bit of a sheen in it, and it's kind of pinky purple corally. And I really like how it looks just with the white. And the white is Juniper Moon Farm Zoe, which is a cotton linen blend. And I'm loving it. And this is the Zoe. This is only my second skein. And I think I don't think I'm going to go past the second skein, because it's actually, the purl ridges take up more yarn than you think. And of course, when I'm doing it, because with the purl ridges, I don't want a line where it joins.
Right. Where you start purling. Yeah. So you're adding an extra knit row.
Yeah. So I do a knit row and then 2 purl rows. So yeah. So I'm my gauge is a little bit different because this yarn is a little bit lighter. So I've just added some rows into some of my patterns. And that's the thing that you can do too. Like if you find that your row gauge is not what the pattern calls for, you can just kind of extend each of your sections. So you get the amount that you want, because they're not even as they are. So you can kind of just try it on as you go and see whether you need to add more or not.
Yeah. And Sue was asking if I'm holding it double or single, and I'm holding it single. And I have to say, I was like so surprised because the drops bell, this is just what's left of a skein, so it's not the best, but it's like you can see here, it's like, I don't know, it's more cotton than anything else. So there's like no give into it. And it is like very loosely plied. So I actually thought that this might be a little trickier to work with. But what I cannot believe is, you know, I just keep doing this with it, and I've already done it once, but I'm going to do it again. It's like, it's so bouncy. So I held it single, and I am right on gauge. And actually the pattern designer suggests this as one of the alternate yarns to what she had used to make hers. So it's fantastic.
Well, Mark said she knit with the drops bell, and it definitely grew with the weight of the yarn. Now I've worn my Ilya, which is, I believe, about the same tension as this one. And the only place, like I found it hung nicely. The only place where I found that it really stretched was in the neck. So I'm just going to go back and I'm going to pick up and do because I didn't do the neckband that was called for, because I liked the way it looked, but the neckband has stretched out a bit. So I'm going to go in and do the neckband. On this one, I'm not sure if I'm going to leave the neck just like this or go in and do anything. I'll see when it's finished what it looks like, and I might even wear it and see whether or not I think I want to go in and do anything else to it.
And if anybody else is thinking about the drop spell, I can give you a promotion for a color, or not a promotion, but a referral for a color, because my coworker Lynn and we just got an order in from Wool Warehouse this week. I ordered some more kid silk, and she had ordered the bell in a color called Almond Rose. I am so jealous that I did. Do you? I am jealous. Yes. I did not get in on that color. It is like the perfect caramelly, sort of pinky, but more caramel than pink. And it would be a beautiful all over neutral color to wear for summer, or I mean, for any time of year really. But since it's a cotton yarn, we tend to think more about the summer.
More summer.
So,
Yep. Yeah, that was the first color I picked, but then I did the other sweater first in the lighter. But yeah, I do. It is a really pretty color. So.
And Klaska has mentioned about the lifeline too, that if you're actually using the Chagoo needles, you can thread your knitting needles with your lifeline and knit them right in. Chagoo has an extra hole available on their post. What's the word for the end of a knitting needle? I don't know what that's called.
It's not the tip.
It's not the tip, it's the other end, but it's the end that screws into the cord. So I don't know what that is even called. But anyway, in that part of the Chagoo needle, there's an extra hole that you can string a lifeline in there. Oh, Judy got some in the almond rose.
The almond rose,
gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Yeah. So what else are you working on?
Okay. So last week I said I was going to get started on my test knit for Natalie. I'm doing a test knit for Natalie of Remembrance's Pottery. And the test knit is a children's version of her Merry Mint sweater last year. And it is called the Mini Mint. I do have it in here somewhere.
I've got it up for you.
You got it? Okay. So I
how adorable. How absolutely adorable is that?
So this one is a child's about size 4 to 5. And I did this in Catcha United socks, which is those little 25-gram balls.
Mm-hmm.
So I think there's about 9 or 10 different colors in here. And then I also used a little bit of the gray, I think is Drops Fable. And then there's a cream in here that is Lane Fave socks. So it was all yarn that was in my stash that I just kind of pulled out and put together. So this one, I've just got the sleeves left to do. And it's a really fun pattern. It's absolutely addictive to knit. Like it's just, I just want to do the
perfect stash buster too.
Yes, it is. I just want to do the next pattern and see what it looks like. And so I'm doing several of them because these are going to be the kids' Christmas sweaters for this year. So I'm actually getting them done early. But you know what? A kid's wool sweater is not that bad to knit on in the summer because it's tiny. So I'm really enjoying that. So instead of doing the sleeve of that one, I started on the next one. I didn't want to do sleeves. Okay.
Before you leave that sweater, can we also just say though, if an all over colorwork sweater is not your thing, but you want to try out some of these little motif patterns that Natalie has put together, she calls them Advent socks, right?
Yeah.
Oh, Natalie's in here. Hopefully I'm not ruining this for you, but she calls them Advent socks, where she has the number of bands. So you could knit a pair in the month of December. And a lot of these little motifs are in the socks as well. So a smaller scale project if you want to do something that's not an all over sweater, but still have all the fun of all the color work and using scrappy little bits.
You could also just like take this pattern. It's not out yet. I'm not sure. I think it's going to be out later. I'm not sure exactly when. But you could take this pattern and you could just do the yoke and then you could do your body just in a solid.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, so that would be fun too.
Yeah, just take your design up here in the yoke and then just do the body in the solid if you don't want to do all over color work.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But the all over color work is fun. So my second one, and this is just a size up from that one, and I don't have too much done on it yet, but
I love those colors too. That just seems like a little softer, and I love those little bits of blue. Wow.
Yeah. So this is this is all Holstgarn Coast.
That's beautiful.
Is the first time.
Okay.
Yes. This is the first time that I've done color work with Coast. Yes. And I mean, it's not even blocked or washed yet. And I'm still loving the fabric that I'm getting. Like this is on a 3mm needle. And I just love it.
I would have thought that was super soft.
Nope.
That looks amazing.
It's as soft as anything.
I would not even have thought of using Coast for color work.
Well, I just thought for the kids because, and actually Zoe's more sensitive than Molly and Isla, but because she wears her dress that I made her last Christmas, but it was done in Sicey, which is 80% wool, 20% nylon. And she says, yeah, Grandma, sometimes it itches me a little. So yeah, she's actually better off with something probably like this. So, I mean, the coast is so soft. So this is, it's about 11 colors, I think. I just kind of pick out my colors that I think go together, and then I just start knitting. And when you pick them out, you just sort of need to have like a mix of lights and darks so that you can pair them in a way that the pattern's going to show up, right? Because you don't really want to put all lights, or you're really not going to get any contrast or see the patterns. But
and the coast is single, correct?
This is coast held single. I'm on a 3 millimeter
Lynn's
needle.
asking. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a 3 millimeter needle. And I mean, the kids are running around so much. It's kind of nice to have a lighter sweater for them to put on rather than a heavy sweater. And it is amazing the difference between this, the coast, and this in how much heavier it feels.
Because you can even just see the difference. Like
the coast is classed as a fingering, but it's a light fingering.
Very light.
But this is like, I will now go and do an all over colorwork sweater for myself in the coast. Like, I just love this. I
would not even have thought about that. That's amazing.
But anyway, very, very pleased with it.
Natalie did confirm too that her excuse me, her Advent socks do have 12 sections each sock. So if you knit a little colorwork section each day, by Christmas, you've got some Christmas socks.
Well, and in this one too, she's got it all laid out. If you just want to follow the pattern exactly, you can do that. But she also gives you charts of all the different sections, because in this size, it wasn't supposed to have this snowflake in it, but I wanted the snowflake. So I just left out one of the motifs that was here. And then she gives you a variety of different, like, this is an 11 row motif. This is a 9 row motif. So if you want to replace something, well, first, either because you ran out of yarn, or another because you liked a motif and you wanted to repeat it, then you can kind of customize the sweater like to be your own. So that's really cool too. And yet, you're not doing any math or figuring anything out. You're just replacing one 11 row repeat with a different 11 row repeat. So anyway, so thanks, Natalie. It's really fun. Cool.
We want to say hello to Cindy too. It's her first time watching live because she's on holiday. So now she's in a time zone that she can watch us live.
Hi, Cindy.
Hi, Cindy. Welcome. And Dorothy, she has to make 4 now. She has 4 granddaughters.
That's right. Are you saying I have to make 4 or Dorothy has to make 4?
No. Dorothy was asking how many you had to make. You had to make.
Yes, yeah. I have to make 4. But I'm getting the 2 biggest ones done now. And I mean, I only started last week, so I have lots of time. So like I said, I just hope, and I think if I do them in different colors, then it keeps your interest, where if you were doing them all exactly the same, then I'd get bored. But because I'm switching up colors and doing them different, it's a little bit more exciting. And maybe, maybe the babies, I might only do it in the yoke and leave the bottom plain. I don't know yet.
What size needle did you say you're using for the coast sweater?
3 millimeter.
Okay. Sue's 47. She is using coast held double on a 4 millimeter to make the Trelawney sweater.
Okay.
I've heard of that name. I just can't picture.
I've heard the name too. Is it a Carol Feller maybe?
I
don't know.
Don't know. Sorry.
I don't know.
Natalie says Penelope's will only take you a day.
I know, but she's growing. I have to kind of almost wait for hers to see how big she's going to be.
Oh no, Sue dropped stitches.
Oh no.
Panic.
Anyway. Okay. So then I was doing those, and of course I still wanted to cast on something else.
Why not?
So the next one that I cast on is this one. So this is Ela by Isabel Kramer.
Do you have a banner in?
Yep.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, so this is by Isabel Kramer, and I like to look at it from as soon as I saw it, and I thought it would. I had bought the Robinson yarn by Durarium Natura when I was at Knitting Loft. One of the times that I was at the Knitting Loft, and in this color, which is called Eau de Rose.
Gorgeous.
And here's my start.
Okay, tell us about that yarn though. That's beautiful.
Okay. So this yarn it's a new yarn by Durarium Natura. It's called Robinson. It is 70% wool, and it's their merino d'Arles, which is merino that's from sheep that are from somewhere in France. and it is 28% recycled cotton and 2% other recycled fibers. And these yarns, this particular brand, Robinson, they're all dyed naturally. And the reason that it's called Robinson, it's called after Robinson Crusoe, because he learned to live in harmony with nature.
Oh, nice.
I know, isn't that cool? So, and I love this color. It's called Eau de Rose. And I love the pattern. So this is like you knit the front. You actually do a provisional cast on.
Okay.
So it's a crochet provisional cast on. And then I'll go back and I'll pick up those stitches and knit the back. So you'll do your right front, left front, your back, and then you'll join it and then you'll knit. Not in the round because it's a cardigan going back and forth for the body. But the yarn feels amazing. I love the color. I think it's going to make a gorgeous spring summer cardigan. And it's kind of like, it's pale pink, but it's almost like a neutral because it's not really like, it's not like in your face pink.
No, it's not bubblegum pink. That's for sure.
No.
Teresa says
all the colors in this yarn are like, they're soft, just really soft,
natural.
Pretty. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Teresa says that she bought yarn for that pattern today. And guess what she bought? She bought the super soft dried plaster, which happens to be one of our favorite colors.
And it's probably very similar to this.
And it's sitting right here. Look at that. Yes. It is. Yeah. It's just a shade.
It's a little bit more peachy.
A little bit more peach, but it's one of our favorite pink neutrals that Holst makes.
Yep.
Holding it double. That's a gorgeous, I like that pattern.
Well, that was that you felt my, the last one that I did by Beth McDonald Stone.
Yes.
And that was the Holst held double.
Okay.
So yeah, that Holst held double would give you perfect gauge for this.
Gorgeous.
So, yeah. So yeah. And so
bye, Sarah. She's got to go get the kids at practice.
Bye, Sarah. This was a tutorial by Carol Feller for the crochet cast on, provisional cast on. Super easy to follow.
Yes. So, okay. I love that pattern. Really nice.
Yeah, I really like it. And it's nice that you kind of do the band at the same time, so you don't have to go back and pick up stitches.
I love sweaters that do that.
And
totally love it.
It's got like a nice little I-cord edge on the side, so it kind of finishes off your band as well. The only modification I've made so far is the band was just straight knit one, purl one, rib, but I did it twisted both front and back, so that even if you're wearing it and it kind of falls back, you're still going to get the twisted on the other side. So.
Okay, Terry, I don't know if you're pulling my leg, but she says, did you see the yarn called Just Like Butter? Come on, there isn't really a yarn called that, because if there is, I'm going to have to get it. And I'll have to make something for Noelle and make her wear it too.
It will not feel like butter.
Jessica wants to know how we use the yarn off our cones. Do you bring the cone everywhere?
The cone down on the ground.
Yeah, I just set it down. But if I am going somewhere, I do wind off. Like, well, this one, I had to wind some off because this was from my ranunculus and I was holding the coast double. So I had to wind off some, and that's what I had left from the cone. But yeah, I usually just work off the cone too.
It's really easy to work off the cone, but it's also really easy if you're going somewhere just to kind of wind some of it off and take it with you. And if I hold it double, you've got to wind some of it off so that you can hold it double. Because with your cone, you can't really, there's no you've only got your beginning end. You don't have the end of it.
Well, unless you're knitting under the bridge, then it's really handy to bring a cone because that's a good anchor to hold it in place and your yarn balls don't go rolling away on you. Okay, so they are telling me that they're not pulling my leg. There is actually a yarn called that. So when you know, I'm going to go look that up. I have never heard of that before.
There should be a law about that. Yarn should not feel like butter.
Oh, but it does. It just does. Isabel said that she just finished Isabel Kramer's Mary Chen vest. And I love that pattern too. I think that's beautiful.
She wants to start this one. You should start it. You should start it, Isabel. You should start I only started it today. I'm already forgetting the name of it. Ela, right? E-L-A-H.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
So yeah, the pattern's easy, but it's just pretty. It's just like, and the back's just all stockinette. So that's going to be easy when you get to it. You're just going to have your, lace and then a stockinette section and then lace. So it keeps your interest, but you've still got a lot of just plain knitting and perfect. That's what a perfect pattern should have. A little bit of
Yes.
detail, a little bit of color work, some boring stuff for when you're under the bridge so that you can knit it without making mistakes.
Okay, Sharon says you can also call it feels like kittens' tummies. I don't know. Feels like butt to me. Some things do. Some things absolutely do. Okay. Do you have anything else that you're working on?
Not anything that I worked on this week. That's all I worked on.
I'm still working on this, which now I'm mid-row, so I can't hold it up. But this is the, let's just.
Oh, I'll find it. You hold it up.
Okay. This is the Tassels in the Sky by Vincent Villapando.
Did you have it?
No, I didn't have it. I was going to take Ela down. No, I was going to take Ela down so it doesn't look like I'm showing another pattern. But this, I mean, I weighed what I had left in the boucle, not the boucle, sorry. In the, what is the word?
Mohair.
What is this called? No, what is this called? I've just.
Slub.
Sorry. Sorry. I knew it was like right there. So I weighed what I have left. I'm just past the halfway point. I can't believe that I still have like, it's already like a decent size shawl. Like if I could stretch it out, which I can't, but, so this is the Full Moon Fibers slub. We're hooked on this.
Slub. Yep.
Yes. Hooked on this. So I'm using, Kale Me About It, and my mohair ran away. And then this is a Knit Picks Aloft mohair. And when you work with them together, look, you just get, it changes the color dramatically, but not so much that it's hidden. But I can't say enough how much I love these little slub balls that are there. So Noelle knit this first, and then I almost stole it, like literally almost stole it from her, and had to go and get some. And then I bought enough to make another one because it's just, it's easy peasy lemon squeezy knitting. You're just really knitting back and forth.
It is. It's just, yeah. And it looks like
take this everywhere.
Have half left, but it's not going to get, Kelly, you're going to get more width now than you are this way because your rows keep getting longer and longer.
It actually just makes the purl rows feel longer. But
yes,
you guys, look at this.
Did you take off the yarn for your tassels already?
Tassels are done. Tassels are done, sitting off to the side, ready to go. Full Moon Fibers. Oh my goodness.
I know. And the colors are gorgeous.
The colors. Yeah. Kale me about it.
I know.
I love it. I love it. So that's the last. Well, I have a sock I'm working on, but you've all seen it. It's just a sock. It's nothing fancy. So that's. Do you have anything else?
I did not touch my. I have not touched socks. I cast on another one, like just part of a pair. I got one row of rib done. That's it. That's all the sock knitting I have done this week. Like, who am I?
I don't even know. So Natalie says she's a quarter of the way through hers and she's already considering another. It would be a fantastic Christmas gift.
It would. One
of mine is going to be gifted, but I'm going to knit both of them first and then decide which one I can bear to part with. But it's you can pick it up. Like there's no pattern to it. And it's a free pattern on Ravelry, but it's so nice and easy.
And you get a finished product that looks like you put so much more time and effort into it than just simple knitting. So,
and there is not a color in slub that I could not find, or that I couldn't find a mohair that would just make that shawl absolutely amazing.
And it's amazing. Like you could take one of the skeins of the slub, and depending on what color of mohair you put with it, get an absolutely different, like two different looks.
Oh, for sure. And that's something I actually wanted to talk about, how the mohair colors change something. So did you buy any yarn this week?
Maybe.
After you told me I'm not buying any more yarn.
Okay. This is what happened.
Okay. You were walking down the street and some yarn fell on your head.
It's Jacqueline's fault.
Oh,
Jacqueline's my daughter. So
we're going to need a bigger bus to roll you over.
She wanted me to go out to Kamlaki to pick up some candles for her from Wick and Bear. So I went out to Kamlaki and I thought, well, I'm already past Moldland.
Wink, wink.
Not Moldland. I'm already past Mundaman. I might as well go to Country Yarns, right? Meanwhile, it's another 20 minutes in the other direction.
You're
And
bad.
Zoe wanted more rainbow buttons. She wanted something with rainbows on it. So I needed to get some more rainbow buttons. So I went out there and I got,
okay. Buttons are not yarn, Noelle. So where did the yarn
I
come
know, but then I saw this and I really liked this color. And so I got it.
Oh, I like that one
So
too.
it's the Barocco Remix Light. Whoops, hold
Very
it up
nice.
right there.
Very
And
nice.
I don't know if you can see, but like it's called Mist, but it's like a grayish blue, and there's just all little flecks of other colors in it. And I just I need to cast it on and make something, but then I decided to cast on the other sweater instead. But so I just got 2 skeins of that and the buttons and a needle.
And Jacqueline is
That's
saying
it.
it's not quite her fault. Not quite. Buying candles does not I'm with you on this, Jacqueline. Mom, could you pick me up a candle? In no way sounds like, Mom, buy some yarn.
Okay, Zoe wanted more rainbow buttons. It's her fault.
Okay. Oh, poor Zoe.
You're never too young to get blamed for the yarn buying.
Yeah, this is the sign of a person with a true problem. Can't accept responsibility. So,
oh, did you buy anything?
Yes, I did. Yes. This is the point I wanted to talk about. So this is still sitting here because I still haven't cast on the last summer sweater that I'm going to cast on, because I haven't decided what it's going to be, but I do know the colors. It's going to be this gorgeous cone of Coast. It's called Red Currant. And then this one is called Rose Bay. Rose Bay. Yes. So these are going together, but these are not the new things I got. I had these before. The new thing I got 2. Oh, that's weird. I just heard something fall. Okay.
Sorry,
anyway.
Julia. Julia's talking about that to be outed to your husband because I told him that Julia bought more yarn than I do.
Oh, yeah. Right? I know. We're just going to give Noelle a new name. I think we're just going to call her the bus driver because she likes to roll everybody over with that bus.
It's the first time that Ross has met Julia. And I said, oh, Ross, this is Julia. She buys more yarn than I do.
Yeah. Yeah. Ouch. That bus didn't hurt a bit. Okay. So here's the color I bought. This is called Rust. Rust. I think Rust. This is the Kid Silk. And I got this as part of the Kid Silk sale from Drops. Now, you may look at this and think, this does not exactly go, but here's the thing. I'll do this little thing, and I'll tell you what I'm going to make with it. I'm actually going to make the souffle tee, which is that gorgeous, gorgeous sweater that you've seen made up. It has the mohair up top that's just knit with the mohair, and then you pair the mohair with a fingering for the body of the sweater, and it's separated by this darling little ruffle that goes around it. And I can't wait to cast it on, but that's a later project. It's not for right now. But here's the thing. So if I hold the mohair with this red currant, I should have done a little sample of this for you before. Do you see how it just ever so slightly, it's changing the color, but not too much. So this is really not going to work. Like there, can you see the color difference though? And this is what I wanted to talk about. It just slightly changes the color a little bit because we had this conversation at work because my coworker Lynn had bought a cobalt blue to go with something. And when she saw the mohair come out of the bag, she's like, oh, that's not going to work because I was pairing it with an indigo blue. But I said, you're looking at this all bunched up together, and the mohair is never going to be bunched up like this. It's only ever going to be in a lighter strand. So it's like once you put it with something else, it just completely changes the color of the 2 yarns. So you have to look at it twisted or knit yourself a little swatch. So I did. I bought Rust, and then I also bought this color because I have the River. Was this River Wash or Stone River?
I have one called River that looks like that, but there are a lot of
maybe it's just River, and this is Coast, right? And I knit my ranunculus in this, and I matched it with the matching Titicaca. So this time I ordered some more blue because I have another sweater quantity still left on the cone, and I wanted to make another blue sweater, but I don't want it to be exactly the same color. Right. So I ordered, I think this color is called Storm, and it's just a lighter blue. again, you would think that they don't really complement one another, but you're never going to see that much of the mohair all together. So all it will do is just bring this up a shade in tone or saturation, I guess. And that way I'll end up with a completely different colored sweater from the same cone
well,
of
yarn.
yarn.
I think like for that, you just kind of have to do a swatch and see if you like the look of the two together, because it is surprising that some that you think when you just look at them may not go together, but when you do the swatch, they actually look really nice.
Yes.
So
yes.
like, don't be swayed just because it doesn't
bold.
look
Like, I guess, where I was trying to go with that is like, just be a little bit bold when you have some mohair and you think, oh, well, it's kind of similar, but it doesn't match. Oh, no. It will still match. Trust me, it will match. Just have some fun, or do something completely unexpected and see what you can get with it.
Well, and it's sometimes really nice too if you take a solid color yarn and put like a hand dyed mohair that's all variegated, and then you just get a really subtle kind of watercolor effect.
Yes.
Or you can do it the other way around too, that if you've got like a hand dyed yarn and you put kind of a semi-solid mohair with it, it really tones down the variegation in your hand dyed yarn. So sometimes if you think it's got too much variegated and it's too much for you, you actually might like it if you
mohair
will to kind of tone it down.
Yes, definitely.
So plus I also find if I've got a superwash yarn and I put a mohair with it, it gives it a little bit more stability, where you don't get as much stretching out as you do with just the superwash by itself.
Yes, absolutely. So there's a couple of combinations that people have posted about in here. Susan says that she made a hat with a rosy gold merino and a black cherry shade of mohair, and that sounds stunning to me.
Yep.
And she says she loves the combination. There's something about the dark mohair with the lighter wool, and it kind of gives you like that background shadowy look. And then Nick said that she used a bright orange mohair with a bright pink fingering, and that's one of my favorite color combinations. Nice. It's like that neon creamsicle color.
It's like that one color that Leo and Roxy has called Geek in the Pink, and it's
colorway. Love that colorway. Yes. So. And Lorraine is talking about pairing a red with maroon mohair, and then it toned the red down and gave it just a very marled, painterly effect. So yeah. So have fun with your mohair if that's something that you're into. Not everybody's into mohair. We're into mohair. We like mohair, but I know that some people are just, it's not for me. So, okay, I'm looking around. That's all I bought this week. See,
that's
very little. All you bought.
That's all I bought. So, now I need to do some serious knitting.
Okay, so we did talk earlier about how we're going to have some prizes next week, and we are, because our Makealongs are coming to an end. But you never know when the prize wheel might make an appearance too. So it could be lots of prizes next week. We don't know. But I wanted to give a shout out actually to, while we're talking about that, whoops, should have been ready, to StreamYard. So I just popped this up into the corner. StreamYard is the platform that we use to run these podcasts, our live streams. And I've been using StreamYard now for about a year and a half. Absolutely love them. They are fantastic to work with. They are the designers behind our little spinny wheel. We didn't come up with that on our own. That's one of the features that goes along with StreamYard. And I'm starting to see some other podcasters use it as well. There's a lot of options going on in the background that we can show you things. So unlike some other platforms that I've seen for live streaming, this gives us the opportunity to put in the banners and our logos across the top and the comments, view the comments. We love StreamYard. So I just wanted to put that out there. If there's anybody watching that is, typically maybe looking for something like that, I just wanted to let you know that this is an option available for you. Okay. Do you have anything else?
I just want to remind everybody to get
I'm just going to look down here and see if we got everything.
Your finished objects and your not finished objects, your making that's bringing you joy. Make sure that you get it into the chatter thread and the finished object thread. Make sure you get your socks in there. I actually did a swatch.
You did a swatch. I just saw that in there. I'm like, what is this? What is this? You did a swatch.
I did.
Is that the Robinson yarn?
Yes, because I never knit with it before. I've never knit with any of the, this is my first time knitting with any of the Durera Natura yarn. So I thought I'm just going to do a swatch, because the instructions, or sorry, the yarn band did say, or not the yarn band, but I looked at up online that typically it was better to use it with a 4.5 needle and a 20 stitch gauge, as opposed to the, I believe it's the Gilead, that's the wool sort of equivalent, which is more like an 18 stitch gauge. And the pattern is actually 18 stitch. So I thought I'm going to try it. And I do like it at the 20 stitch gauge. So I just went up a size in the pattern. So there you go. I did a swatch, but I ripped it right out again because, because I didn't want it to get all wrinkly. I wanted to use it.
I was just looking in here to see if I missed anything that we had.
There's proof that I did a swatch.
Yes, Noelle swatched. You saw it here. And then I had this picture too. This was from this past weekend. That was when we were knitting under the bridge. Yeah. Working both of us on our sweaters, the same sweater, which we didn't know that the other one cast on, by the way.
No. We
just showed up and we're like, oh, hey, yeah, I didn't know you cast one on, but I got the bug from Julia.
Kim said again, what sweater are you wearing? And Kelly's sweater is the Deshane by Lila Raven.
Yes.
So, and all of that, again, all of that information, there are show notes. Jacqueline's very kind too. I do the show notes and I just send them to her, and she does all that magic to let them show up on the internet. So there are show notes, and
I'll go in after this and I'll put the timestamps in. And if you're still here, we always lose a few people at the very end. But if you haven't already, please give it a 2 thumbs up, and it helps to keep the channel moving along and getting it in front of other people, because the more activity the channel gets, the more people who get to see, and the more people who can join us on KnitChat. And we like that. We like that. We are a growing group for sure. And again, I mean, we say this week after week, but it's the same thing. Just the highlight of my week. It's so much fun.
That's
so much fun.
This sparks joy.
Sparks joy. Yeah, that could go on all year long, because that's
right.
Every week hanging out with wonderful people is sparking some serious joy. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we are.
Hope that everybody has a wonderful week, that you get lots of knitting time and lots of nice weather. Hopefully all the thunderstorms are gone.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Well, take care, everybody.
Okay. Yep.
And we'll be back again on Tuesday.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Happy knitting.
Happy knitting.